Namaste, Jai Bharat. Sheela Dixit, who was Chief Minister of Delhi, used to be a very prominent and powerful leader during those days. If what I think is correct, she was present everywhere, especially during those days then when we were students in JNU for some time. And you see, slowly she was apparently withdrawing from this public sphere and then passes away through an untimely death. She was not that old. Now, people say that she had gone into grave depression, very serious depression, and was had rather resigned from everything and had become secluded, lonely, etc. Then her son seemed to have accused a Congress leader from South, saying that he is the cause of her depression. Read the details, I don't know. It seems he wrote a letter or something like that. Then suddenly, this somebody had given me the content of this Facebook post. Then came up a Facebook post by a Catholic association, some kind of Catholic group. It's CASA. It's called CASA. I don't really know the expansion of that. And that Congress leader from the South must have been, or surely have been, a Catholic. So this group, they were trying to say, no, he was not the cause of the depression or unhappiness of Sheela Dixit. She was a victim of love jihad. And they gave so many details in their Facebook post. I got the contents. They have named the people who were involved and what was the cause of love jihad. I'll just mention it. I don't like to mention take the names of people, though it's already in public, but I don't want to do it. Personally, I don't like to take anyone's name for that matter. Her daughter apparently had fallen in love with a Muslim whom her daughter trusted and she in turn trusted, and that man had slowly become very close to her. Then he started managing the affairs of her house, etc., etc., etc. Then by the time Sheela Dixit understands the other side character of this person, she becomes so helpless because he started blackmailing her, saying that I know how you managed all this money, all this fund, etc. Maybe politicians may have their own ways of gathering money, I don't know. May have, people say that. What people say is not necessarily always right, but some days there may be some glimpses of truth, etc. But we can't be speaking for that. Anyway, so he had threatened her and brainwashed her. Threatened her and said that I'll expose you, or something must have happened. And from that, she goes into this unhappy situations of withdrawing from the life. No, there was definitely a kind of withering away from common lives. Now, that's one thing. Then this person had left his daughter, whom he married initially, and divorced most likely. For them it is easy to divorce. Those days this triple talaq was in order. Then went away, probably eloped or ran away with Sheela Dixit's sister's daughter. All these things depressed, etc. Slowly she withdrew from life, and then, in short, she had an untimely death, an unhappy ending. Now, the point which we should discuss is that, or we should think about, is that the Congress culture at that time, or even now Congress culture, they have lot of talk about being secular. Though in the initial stages of the Congress, when Alan Octavian Hume had formed the party, the Muslim League was continuously and constantly accusing the Congress for being a Hindu party. And many people like especially the Ali brothers, etc., they were asking people not to work in the Congress because the Congress is a Hindu party. They stand for the Hindu sentiments. That used to be the accusation against Congress. Syed Ahmad Khan also, if I am right, was treating Congress as a Hindu party. They all wanted a Muslim party at that time. Indian Union, All India Muslim League was not formed then. It was formed only in 1906 or so, something. So, but the Congress had this attitude of being secular. And interestingly, this is another point to be pondered upon. Interestingly, their secularism is directed towards only Hindus. They wanted Hindus to be secular, but that kind of rigid secularistic imposition was never done to Christians or Muslims. They don't have to be secular practically, but the Hindus will have to be secular. Now look at a bit of contradiction in this. Hindu Dharma is theologically secular. That makes Hindu Dharma secular by default. But other theologies cannot be secular because they insist on, I am right and you are wrong. I am right and you are wrong. Mine is the only God. The commandments goes like that. Mine is the only God, and no other God can replace me, etc. So this kind of things. Now, how can when they try to be secular, they have to make a special effort to be secular, whereas for Hindu it can be simply spontaneous. This is maybe one of the reasons that they would ask Hindus to be secular. Number two, they would only ask Hindus to be secular to appease the non-Hindus. Non-Hindus, I mean to say the Semitic people, not the Jains and the Buddhists and the Sikhs, etc. But they fall under the big umbrella of Hindus. They also have to be secular. And for them also there is no harm. Being secular is by default for them also. Now look at the story of love jihad. This love jihad, of course, it was not against her, Sheela Dixit, but against her daughter and also her sister's daughter, who is as good as her another daughter. Now this guy has no problem in having multiple wives, and he has no problem in having involving in adultery, though adultery goes against one of the 10 commandments. And respect to parents also, if you violate, it goes against one of the 10 commandments. Now look at the extent of love jihad which happened in those days. These days people talk about different kind of love jihad, which is aimed at young girls, getting them converted into Islam, all those things, and they dress up young boys and give them some amount of money and with a vehicle to move around and send them through other girls to befriend other girls, etc., etc., etc. Then, but this had existed even much before. It's not a new phenomenon. Love jihad is not a latest or new phenomenon. This had been the case in all kinds of forms right from when, I don't know. It's a very unfortunate situation. Such a personality she used to be, very authoritative she used to be, and very very powerful she used to be, and suddenly just vanished into thin air. Unfortunate. One should think about the kind of secularism we are asked to practice, especially those Hindus should think that why should I be secular alone? Because I'm already secular by default. I don't have to make an effort to be secular, but you have to make an effort to be secular. So Hindus, it's time for them to think. Time for them to think and try to tell others that don't be artificially secular. There are many who are non-Hindus who are genuinely secular. So let's go for that, genuinely secular. Anyway, it was an unfortunate case of Sheela Dixit. The Kasa's revelation, they have named everything. Everyone's name they put. Kasa's revelation, what you call exhibition or telling of the things appeared to be near truth, or at least appeared to be truth. Let's go and do some search, some research. You may know some more truth. Till we meet again, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.